If you're researching project management in 2026, you're probably seeing some things that are making you nervous. You've seen layoff. You've seen experienced project managers struggle to find opportunity. You've even seen entry-level roles asking for experience. You've seen AI tools creating meeting notes, status reports, project plans, and communication in just a matter of seconds. And somewhere along the way, you may have started asking yourself a simple question. Is project management still worth it in 2026? Well, family, I'm not going to tell you that everything is perfect. The profession is changing, the market is changing, the tools are changing. But if you're looking for someone to tell you that project management is dead, I'm probably not the right person to ask that question because after spending more than a decade leading projects, building PMOs, working alongside executives, engineers, developers, operation teams, and stakeholders, I believe project management is still worth pursuing, but not for the reasons most people think. Let me tell you this. I remember growing up, my parents would tell me stories about that it really just sounded impossible. They would talk about how they walked miles to school in the snow. The older I got, the longer those walks seemed to become, but that's just a side note. Then they would tell me about typing papers on a typewriter. Now, if you've never used one, let me paint the picture for you. Imagine spending hours typing a report only to make a mistake near the bottom of the page. There was no backspace, no delete key, no undo button. Matter of fact, they didn't even have spell check. Your options were to break out that good old whiteout and hope nobody noticed, or you had to start from scratch. That means from the beginning. As a kid, I thought they were simply telling me old stories. As an adult, I realized they were teaching me something much bigger. Every generation experiences technology change. Every generation watches tools evolve. Every generation has to learn new ways of working. The people who thrive aren't necessarily the smartest. They're always the strongest. They're often the people willing to adapt. And that's exactly why I wanted to have today's conversation about project management in 2026. Here's a quick reflection moment, family. Because if we're being honest, many people aren't worried about project management. They're worried about becoming irrelevant. They're worried about investing time into a profession that may look different 5 years from now. But history teaches us something important. Technology changes the tools. It doesn't eliminate the need for people who can solve problems. Now, let's talk about what that means. Principle number one, adaptability is the new approach to being a PM. What are the biggest misconceptions about project management? Is believing you're being hired for a specific set of tasks. In reality, you're often hired to help organizations solve problems. If I had roles where I was expected to spend most of my time managing projects, instead, I found myself helping with operations, governance, process improvement, executive reporting, PMO development, and organizational change initiative. The title remained the same, but the work evolved, and I had to evolve with it. The professionals who create the most opportunities are rarely the ones protecting a job title. They're the ones willing to solve whatever problem needs to be solved. The more problems you solve, the less dependent you become on a single role, title, or department. Here's the lessons I want you to think about, family. Organizations may change their priorities, but they never stop needing people who can create value. Here's 2 actionable tips I'd love for you to experiment with. Focus on building transferable skills such as communication, facilitation, problem solving, and stakeholder management. Next one, learn how your organization creates value and generates revenue. That's big, family. Understanding the business often creates opportunities the job description never mentioned. Here's my professional advice. Many professionals become attached to a title. Organizations don't hire titles. Organizations hire people who solve problems. And I get it. Adaptability has always mattered. But in 2026, there's another reality we can't ignore. Artificial intelligence is changing the way project managers work. The question, though, is whether we choose to learn it or compete against it. Principle number 2, AI will not replace every project manager, but it will change the profession. Let's address the elephant in the room. AI is real. And yes, it is changing project management. And yes, AI can generate meeting summaries. It can draft communication. It can create schedule. It can even identify risks. AI can even automate work that used to take hours every week. But if you are entering project management in 2026 and you are ignoring AI, you're already putting yourself at a disadvantage. The question is no longer whether AI will impact project management. The question is whether you'll learn how to use it before everyone else does. History shows us professionals who embrace new tools usually outperform those who spend their energy resisting them. Here's the lesson I want you to think about, family. Technology doesn't eliminate opportunity. It often shifts where opportunity exists. That's key. I'm going to say that again, family. Technology does not eliminate opportunity. It often shifts where opportunity exists. Here's two actionable tips I'd love for you to experiment with. Choose one AI tool and spend 30 minutes each week learning how it can improve your workflow. Next one, use AI to eliminate repetitive administrative work so you can spend more time solving problems and supporting people. Here's my professional advice, family. Project managers who learn AI will likely outperform project managers who refuse to learn it. Not because AI replaces them, it's because AI amplifies them. But here's where I think many people misunderstand the future. The more technology advances, the more valuable certain human skills become. And that's where many aspiring project managers should focus their attention. Principle number 3, human skills are becoming more valuable, not less. Think about the projects you've seen fail. Most don't fail because someone forgot to update a spreadsheet. They fail because communication breakdown, stakeholder conflict, misalignment and expectation, poor leadership, and lack of trust, or even unclear priorities. Technology changes tools. It doesn't eliminate the need for leadership. The more technology handles routine work, the more organizations will rely on people who can navigate the human side of the business. Somebody still has to build trust. Somebody still has to influence stakeholders. Somebody still has to facilitate those difficult conversations. And somebody still has to lead when uncertainty shows up. Here's the lesson I want you to think. The future belongs to professionals who know how to combine technical capability with genuine leadership. Here's 2 actionable tips I'd love for you to experiment with. Practice active listening during every meeting this week. Just focus on understanding before actually responding. Next one. Start improving your communication skills intentionally through presentations, public speaking, writing, or facilitating opportunities. Here's my professional advice. The higher you advance in project management, the less your success depends on software and it depends more on people. When you step back and look at all 3 of these principles we discussed, a common theme begins to emerge. This conversation was never really about project management. It was about how we respond when the world around us actually changes. Here's the final reflection. So, is project management still worth it in 2026? If you're looking for a profession where you can learn one set of skills and never adapt, probably not. But if you're looking for a profession where your value comes from solely updating spreadsheets, scheduling meetings, and producing status reports, and you should absolutely pay attention to what technology is doing. But if you're willing to become adaptable, learn emerging tools, develop leadership skills, communicate effectively, help people move ideals into reality, then yes, this thing that I love, that I hope that you will fall in love with, called project management, is still worth pursuing. In fact, those skills may become even more valuable in years ahead. Before we close though, here's something I want you to implement. I would love for you to experiment with. Take 15 minutes and ask yourself these 3 questions. What skill am I currently relying on the most? Again, what skill am I currently relying on the most? Next one. What skill should I be developing next? Again, what skill should I be developing next? And the last and final question, what problem can I solve that AI cannot solve on its own? Again, what problem can I solve that AI cannot solve on its own? I want you to write down these answers because the future doesn't belong to people who fear change. It belongs to people who prepare for it. Remember, family, every generation has faced change. You remember the story I told you about my mom and dad about the snow and the typewriter? Every generation has to adapt. Every generation has had people who said the future looked uncertain. The question has never been about whether change is coming. The question, though, is whether we're willing to grow with it. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, keep leading. And remember, sets and reps beat talent when talent doesn't do the reps. If you're new to the episode, I go by the name ED. For all you smart and intelligent folks out there, that just simply means Ed. Until next time.